Okay, morning, folks. Welcome to the briefing on Wednesday the 20th. Suddenly got dark outside. I'm at home in Winchester, and I think we're about to get a rain shower come through here, and that's going to be the story of most of the morning and early afternoon, really. Blustery showers, and as you can see, this is the sort of midday predicted chart. Lots of trough lines coming through and very tight isobars over the channel and near continent, so quite strong winds driving all those sort of troughs and fronts through at a fairly rapid rate. There's a brief interlude here as it calms down later this afternoon, which is a maybe get something out of it. Before this next lot of rain here arrives in the evening. And you'll see that in a minute on the predicted rainfall radar. So that slowly goes through overnight, and then we get rid of some more rain, and we turn into a northwesterly flow for tomorrow, with a cold front going through overnight. So better day tomorrow, lighter winds, but it's going to feel really, really cold. And again, the jet stream now has moved itself from over here. It's swung around, and it's now across the North Sea. So task for today, Farnborough, southwesterly. So it's saying all day between 7 and 4 o'clock this afternoon. 210, 12 knots, broken at 900 feet. So odd bits of cloud and becoming scattered at 3.5. More importantly, you've got this one, which is tempo between sort of 6 and 9, 15 gusting 25 to 20 degrees, and tempo here between sort of 8 and 4 o'clock this afternoon, 3,000 meters showers and rain. And again, I think when we do get those go through, if they're really heavy, you might get what you've got here, which is 20 gusting 32 knots. So when the showers go through, it's going to be rattling through, and they're going to be really windy and gusty. And some of them will be very, very heavy, possible thunderstorms. So not a great day, but I say there's a possibility of it calming down at some point in the afternoon. But I think it might just be a brief interlude. Upper winds, quite interesting here. We look down the channel, 30, 35 knots, and across here, the same sort of figure across the country. But look at the upper winds. Here, they're 65, 80 knots down to the south of us, and across the near continent, 100 knots. That's the start of the jet stream down over northern France, driving the fronts through. Flying heights for us, if we do go flying, it'd be southwesterly, 240, 35 knots. So pretty windy, folks. SatPic shows some clear patches going through, but this bright stuff here is another rain band coming through, and this is the stuff that's trailing across us at the moment, giving sort of fairly hefty showers, as you can see from the rainfall radar picture. And they're whistling through fairly quickly. So we're going to certainly have that for most of the morning and early afternoon. There's another band sort of waiting out here for late this evening. Temperature wise, it's not going to feel cold because it's southerly southwesterly air mass. 14, 15 degrees seems to be about right. And I'd say if you're stood out on the airfield, it'll feel a bit chilly. It'll be a coat weather, but it won't feel really cold. But tomorrow, a sort of plunge of cold air from the north, it's going to feel like 10 degrees cooler out on the airfield. So what we got, the top meteo, the cloud forecast, you can see the little, where the arrow is, the pointer. These are all showers predicted. This is sort of 10 o'clock. And then showers really rattling through for most of the morning. And then in the afternoon, perhaps turning to some cumulus drying out a little bit before the next lot comes in. And that's this lot here for this evening. The BBC was showing that getting to the sort of Lasham area about 7, 8 o'clock this evening. So it's giving us a brief interlude in the afternoon, but still pretty windy. So gust forecast over the south of the country, that's sort of 10 o'clock. These greens are 30 knots. And the orange, yellow colours, 35 probably. And that's sort of 3 o'clock in the afternoon, beginning to calm down, 3, 4 o'clock. So it might be that the clearance and the calmer weather comes a little bit too late for us to go flying. So that's what we think is going to happen today. A case of waiting and watching, really, and deciding what we can do maybe this afternoon. If we do go flying, local airspace, one or two things just of note. Obviously some repetitive stuff like number 17, which is the Southampton hours of operation. It's basically daylight hours that they're operating from sort of 6:30 in the morning till 9 at night. And then once that is out of operational hours, the Class D airspace disappears, but that won't be any help to us. 23 is high intensity radio transmissions of Boscombe Down, 24 is clay pigeon shooting, and 26 is there's no danger area crossing service available. Number 16, red arrows display at Portsmouth. Now this one's an interesting one because normally a red arrows display is a rat for around about 50-55 minutes. This one appears to be set up so it's from sort of 17:43 this afternoon until tomorrow at about 3 o'clock. So yeah, restricted airspace all day, and it's up to 5,500 feet. So something to be aware of, just for anybody who might be disappearing off in a motor glider. It's actually active. Apart from that, quite quiet. In our area and in around here. Operation, if we did go flying late this afternoon, it would be on 2-3. I suspect the grass is pretty grim. So it'll be a confined runway operation, and that might be the case tomorrow, looking at the amount of rain we're likely to get again tonight. We'll make a decision on that tomorrow morning. Jet movements, I hadn't seen any flight plans filed that come through on my emails, but I think there may be a jet movement today. I'm sure we'll find out about that a little later. Okay, folks, so I think little chance till much later this afternoon, if at all. So sorry about that, but that's the nature of the weather. But tomorrow looks quite nice, and Friday looks quite good as well. Saturday, long-term forecast is showing it to be flyable as well. So we've got a run of weather coming up.